No way this isn't a good idea. No way this is not a good idea. What is going on, everybody? Hello, Paulo Constantino. Congratulations on being the first to say something in the chat. Yep, the chat can see you too. Excellent. What am I smoking? Oh, just a Marlboro Light. Hey, Roy Thompson. I'm doing just great. Just come home from a great night out. Hi, Hugh Allen. Good morning to you from Thailand. Good evening to you from here. Hello to Just Another Cunt, Ophiel. Richard Craig, my man. Carlos Silva. Slushy Deluxe. Uh-oh, drunk again. Yeah. Mr. Daniel Ibbotson, DJ Slope in the chat. Right, let's get to this. Vaping is indeed where it's at. I'm actually, believe it or not, I just got this a few days ago. It is a smoke alien thing. So I do have this, which I will be using, but you know, drinking, smoking kind of goes hand in hand. But hey, Kevin Ball, greetings from Trinidad. Good to see you. So yeah, got that too. I am actually finally getting on the vaping, believe it or not. Finally. Finally at long last. When am I in Manchester? Like mid-October? I can't remember the exact dates, but I'm going to the Play Expo. I'd love the National Football Museum. Sweet. I'm going to make a weekend of it. Like, I think I'm going to go there on like the Friday. And do some stuff in Manchester, hopefully. Have a nice long weekend. Okay, so the turn's already in this game. Oh, 3-0. Bubblegum flavour vape. I think this is like kiwi, passion fruit and like watermelon or something like that. It's actually quite nice. It's definitely like by far the most success I've had with a vape. Where am I located? I'm in Essex, England. You were just going to bed, Jesus Cristiano, and then... What do I know? What do you know? I showed up. May the ghost of Alan Sugar bless all ye 8-bit Amstrats. Nice. Am I even inhaling? I kind of don't I'm kind of used to not really inhaling vape smoke that much. Oh, I've scored. I mean, I don't really inhale it a lot. Like, if I inhale this as deep as I inhale a cigarette, it makes me cough my lungs up. Whatever happened to the Euro Expo at Earls Court, London? Do you mean the Eurogamer Expo? If you mean the Eurogamer Expo, that's in Birmingham now. Although there is, like, Res, that's, like, earlier in the year. That's in London. Charlton did the goods today. Shut up, Slushy Deluxe. Shut up. Southend have not had a good start to the season, that's for sure. Oh, an epic save. Vapes are illegal here, but ciggies are really cheap. That is quite odd. That's in Trinidad, didn't you say? Vapes are illegal. Jesus. How does that work? It's like it's water vapor. Oh, and another epic save. Does vaping even do anything for you, or is it just vape? No, it actually does. I mean, like, when I vape, it does actually, it does give you nicotine, so it's really good for, like, not smoking. Like, it's not as good as smoking, like, as far as, like, getting nicotine goes, but it's not bad. In Thailand, giant fine if you're caught with one. Jesus. How does that work? That's crazy. Yeah, I know fags are really cheap there. Oof, God. Come on, we can win this. That's going in. Did I try cabbage flavour vape oil? No, I can't say I've tried that yet. I mean, I like cabbage fine, but I don't know about cabbage flavoured vape. I kind of like a sweeter vape. Steak and kidney vape? What the fuck? Steak and kidney vape. I've never heard of that before. We in that overtime. Oh, that's cool, Jesus. What did you post? Well, Jesus. Jesus. I'm sure you've said before. Sorry. Oh, yeah, we win. Trouble with steak and kidney vape, I'm actually allergic to kidneys, believe it or not, and I'm kind of allergic to offal. I don't know if having like steak and kidney vape would like bring me out in a rash. I got the fucking MVP. I came into that game in the middle of it and got the MVP. I mean, what can you say to that? Dunking on these motherfuckers. Cod liver oil vape. Ugh. What is with y'all and your nasty choice of vape? Like, don't you like a nice, sweet, like, fruity vape like this? It's pretty good. Who would want cod liver oil vape? Ugh. Grossness. I do have kidneys. It's like lamb oil is what I'm like allergic to. Lamb oil, lamb offal. It's kind of weird. Oh, that's cool, Kevin. Yeah, I miss For Later, Disillusioned Wayne. I used to like quite a lot of the shit a lot was on there because they used to have a lot of weird stuff on there, which they don't anymore. I mean, like, graveyard shift television isn't really a thing now. It's all just repeats or, like, quizzes or, like, virtual casino type shit now. which kind of sucks. Will I be doing any more bass cover vids? In the future, I reckon. The Herzog Zwei cover. Excellent choice. I certainly do remember my tash in that video. From a stage when I thought, hey, having a moustache is cool. I had the moustache for a play, believe it or not. Back when I did that cover. Although I did keep it for a couple of months after because I thought it kind of suited me. And then one day I realised that, actually, no, it doesn't. Steak and kidney is not a thing. Okay. It would be kind of funny if it was, though. Steak and kidney vape. I can't imagine how that would taste. Steak and kidney vape. No problemo. Hey Gail, how you doing? Hope you're doing well on this Saturday evening, night, morning, wherever you are. How's that? Pizza and bacon flavour vapes. That sounds fucking disgusting. What is with this thing of making bacon out of everything? Good night, Slope. Good for you to drop by. Slope is indeed bed. Roy Thompson, are you thinking of Night Shift? Or... No, you're not thinking of Night Court. Night Shift is the one I'm thinking of. It just used to be some twat going around the town and just being like, hey, who's out tonight? And then just, like, interviewing people who were out at, like, stupid o'clock in the morning or whatever. That used to be on ITV, like, probably, like, sometime after God's Gift. That's it. I'm so awesome. Have I ever thought about doing a video on the Dizzy games? Yeah, I have. I think that might be a thing that I'm doing soon. I mean, I did a video on Treasure Island Dizzy, like, a whiles back. But that was only, like, a short one. So I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But I wouldn't mind doing, like, a proper Dizzy video. Am I more of a judo or karate fan? I'd say judo. Ah, thanks, Brenton. Hope you're having a nice and good breakfast. Oh God, Get Stuffed. Get Stuffed, that was like the youth cooking show, wasn't it? Get Stuffed! Sorted! You're gonna learn how to make fried eggs. Fucking scrambled eggs, innit, you cunt. What are my thoughts on the Broken Sword games? Dude, I really like them, like especially like the first two. Especially Broken Sword 2, that was definitely a favourite of mine. I never completed it, but I played it a lot. And I used to like CFAX a lot back in the day. Thanks, Blandcorp. Yeah, Dizzy might be a good thing to do, like, when the Spectrum Next comes out. Because there's going to be a new Dizzy coming, like, when that gets released. Get Stuffed for piss students cooking what shit they had rotten in their fridges. Yeah, indeed. Fucking student cooking show. It's like, you know, how to cook fucking baked beans. What made me decide to stream? I've just come home, had a very nice day out, and I thought, hey, why not come online? I often do this when I'm, I've had a, nice night out and had a few drinks. It's not an uncommon thing. Oh, what a beautiful centre and assist! Yeah, no, it didn't, Dave Dog. They did try to kickstart it, but it seems like they're going to release a new one with the Spectrum next. Yeah, I used to like God's Gift as well, actually, Dantronic. Although, when I watched it, it wasn't with Davina McCall, it was with Claudia Winkleman. I'm pretty sure it was one of her, first gigs. Although, as far as, late night ITV goes, there is no contest. It's got to be In Bed With Me Dinner. That's the best show. Damn it. Indeed, Mr. Agony. I always surprise people. I would say you were probably better off playing Phantasy Star 4 when Seaman was the alternative. In Bed With Me Dinner was one of the best and most ripped off shows ever. Unfortunately, I don't, Andrew Dalton. I don't have any on my computer. Sadly. But Jesus, that was a legendary show. In Bed With Me Dinner, and of course, still In Bed With Me Dinner. What's my vape setup? It's not really any... I don't really know. It's just kind of generic vape as far as I'm concerned. I don't really know much about vape. I only got this a few days ago. My favourite video game soundtrack, I would agree on Streets of Rage 2, actually. Did I ever see the video of Anthea Turner getting blown up? Yes, I did. That was pretty fucking hairy. That was nasty. Just sitting in, the back of a van, and then suddenly it's like, boom! God damn. Indeed he did, Andrew. And it wasn't even a 16th as good. I mean, the sort of shit that Bob Mills used to get on In Bed With Me Dinner was just amazing. I mean, my favourite one, I think, was, the one on the estate with, the, super hard guy who's just punch him in the fucking ear hole. I punch him in the fucking ear hole. Or Muggy Bonehead. That was another good one. There's just so much fun stuff on there. That was just great television. That and TV Offal as well, back in the late 90s. Hello, Nick Infante. Yeah, I can imagine that the licensing would kind of fuck In Bed With Me Dinner up, sadly. I think you can still get a whole bunch of it on YouTube, though. Nice one, Andrew Dalton. That was to 5-star, wasn't it? I'm sure that was to 5-star. Just like someone just going, why are you so fucking shit? And the poor 5-star people just being like, we're not shit. Well, they didn't say that, but... I can't say I've really listened to James Whale. I remember a TV show he did. Vaguely. Whoa, what's going on there? The most obscure TV movie license game that I've played. Oh, God. It's a tough one. It's a very tough one for me to think of right now, because, yeah. I'd be able to answer this question better when I'm sober, Paul Mackay. It's difficult for me to answer now. If I'm sober, I'd be like, oh yeah, I played this, and I played this, and I played that. Oh yeah, I've just played all the licensed games. And at this moment, I can't think of one licensed game that I've played. I'm just like, oh God, I'm really bad. I'm really bad at answering questions about my own work like that. I guess Nosferatu the Vampire is kind of an obscure one. If you think, like, it's an isometric ZX Spectrum adventure game based on a German film by Werner Herzog. Indeed, Andrew. 90s Audio Dandies Bad Boys Inc. Phew, you just asked a mouthful. God, I don't even remember what those guys did. That was a long time ago. I don't think I've heard that sort of thing since, like, the mid-90s. I can't say I ever really remember watching The Word that much. That was never a thing I used to watch. Maybe I was a bit too young then to really be watching The Word. It's just one of those things I don't really remember watching. Waterworld for the Virtual Boy was a really bad licensed game. Yeah, Waterworld on the SNES wasn't that great either, but it had a fucking amazing soundtrack. Like, Waterworld for the SNES has one of the greatest video game soundtracks ever. Which is kind of amazing, considering that's not a great game. Ah, thanks for the football score update, Nick Infante. I'm surprised at the draw between Stoke and Man United. My favourite all-time wrestler. Phew! Favourite all-time wrestler. I have a few. Like, favourite American wrestler ever is probably Eddie Guerrero. Favourite Japanese wrestler is probably Toshiaki Kawada. Or Jumbo Tsuruta. One of those two. I don't use ball cam, I use ball cam all the time. You were watching Doom movie livestream elsewhere, this is definitely preferable. Yeah, that's... The Doom movie isn't very good shape thing, this is definitely a better choice. Oh god, Eurotrash. Eurotrash with Antoine de Cons, and the late Lolo Ferrari. Fucking hell. That was funny stuff back in the day. I tell you what, guys, I am so glad about the response to the Heroes of Wrestling video. Like, thank you so much for that. Because you know what that means? You know that means that there's going to be more wrestling on the channel to come, don't you? There's going to be more wrestling. And I'm so happy to give that to you. Because I have so much stuff that I can talk about. Yeah, Jean-Paul Gaultier was on Eurotrash as well. Back when he used to be on telly quite a lot. Indeed, Lola was the one with the monster boobs. Indeed, she was. So what I'm intending, folks, is I'd like to get 2 videos a week going again, and have Games Monday, Wrestling Friday. That's like the ultimate plan. And I already have my next wrestling video, like, in the writing stage. It'd be especially difficult for me, ape versus game, because I can't whistle at all. I can't whistle a damn thing. Hey. A league of cunts. Wrestlers, people who thought were okay, but who turn out to be bellends. Yeah, Jimmy Anvil kind of surprised me. Actually, one thing I do have coming as well, guys. Like, I have, like, a second, like, sort of Heroes of Wrestling postscript coming. Because I did get in touch on Facebook with, a guy, Michael Henry, like Mini Bundy from Heroes of Wrestling, contacted me on Facebook, and he had so much cool stuff to say about the show, so I'm going to be putting that in a video, probably next Friday. And he's kind of also put me in touch with another guy who refereed on Heroes of Wrestling, and he's got some cool stuff to say as well. And there's some really, like, awesome, like, revelations about the event, like stuff I didn't really cover in the video. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about that, Andrew. Like, I'm certainly thinking about that for, like, pay-per-views as well. Like, just having, like, a watch-along. And then, like, maybe I'll, like, test run it on, like, a current pay-per-view, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Yeah, it was long, Shapey Fiend, but I think because wrestling's been something that I've wanted to do for a long time on my channel, so I think, like, a lot of that went into Heroes of Wrestling. I just ended up with having, like, so much fucking stuff to write. So it just ended up being so long. I mean, my second wrestling video, which is also covering a supercard, won't be as long. It'll probably be about, like, the 40-minute mark, I reckon. But the next big wrestling video will cover the biggest supercard of all time. The best attended show ever in the history of wrestling. I don't know if anyone in the chat can guess what it is. That's going to be the next wrestling video. But it's a really interesting supercard. I'm glad that y'all enjoyed the Final Fantasy VIII vids as well. I was kind of glad to finish them by the end, but... because I didn't really expect Final Fantasy VIII to be such a long one, but yeah, it was. Not WrestleMania 3, Andrew Dalton. WrestleMania 3 is not the biggest supercard, not the biggest, like, wrestling event ever. As in, like, the attendance of the event. If you don't know it, you'd never guess it. No, like, never ever. Did I do a LucasArts video? No, I didn't. Commie464. Or Chris, rather. Someone guessed it straight away on Twitter when I said it. Will I eventually cover FFX? It'll be a long time before I do another Final Fantasy game. Like, a long time. We're talking a couple of years. Final Fantasy VIII, kinda. That kinda gave me my fill. Was it the summer of 2001 Butlin Skentless Wrestle Bonanza? Andrew Dalton, was it in North Korea? Yes, it was. It was in North Korea. I think Andrew Dalton's got it. Yep, Andrew Dalton has got it. Collision in Korea. The WCW stroke New Japan show from 1995. Organised by Antonio Inoki. That is going to be my next big wrestling video. It's such an interesting pay-per-view. Like, it's so utterly interesting. Like, not just for the card itself, but for all the events surrounding it. It's just like... It's a great show to look at, especially if you want to learn, like, a lot about North Korea. Hey, I got a hat trick. Attended by about 350,000 people over 2 days, which makes it the highest attendance ever in the largest stadium in the world. Is the attendance really genuine? No, it's not. Good night, Jesus. Take care. It's certainly not the highest paid attendance ever, that's for damn sure. I think a lot of people were forced to turn up to that event. Crazy card. Crazy card. Good night, Jesus. I quite like the first Discworld pull. North Korea before they shit the bed in recent years. I think they've kind of always shit the bed, Nick. Come on. A roundabout shape, you fiend. It's the biggest stadium in the world. The Mayday Stadium in Pyongyang. Biggest stadium in the world, believe it or not. Very good, Stuart. I went to Lee tonight. Did Kim Jong-un beat everyone single-handedly? No, but Antonio Inoki did. Well, there's one pretty crazy story, Andrew, about like the whole Collision and Queer show. I mean, this was in 1995, by the way, folks. About Scott Norton. Like, he called his girlfriend and like got into a fight on the phone with his girlfriend. And at one stage in the call, he went, "Look, you have no idea what kind of shithole I'm in." And like, as soon as he said that, the phone clicked off. Then, like, minutes later, someone's knocking on his door and being like, "Why are you bad-mouthing North Korea?" He goes into, like, an underground room, or is, like, brought to an underground room and interrogated for, like, an hour. Thinks, "I'm not going to fucking get out of there." They eventually released him. But, yeah, it's a place. That's for sure. Have I tried Henry Burger in Lee? No, I've heard lots of very good things about it. I was there once when it was in Southend. But I mean, they kind of had a Southend and Lee branch, and then they just have a Lee branch. Yeah, your friend should probably stop licking the cat litter tray, plump poo. As I said, a very interesting supercard. I can't wait to get that video going. Good thing about where I live is there's lots of good eating around here. What are my thoughts on David Icke? I don't really have that many thoughts on David Icke. I'm not that sort of like... I don't really go in for like conspiracy theory type stuff. How did Southend do today? I believe we lost 2-1 to Charlton today, which is not good. We've not had a good start to the season at all, has to be said. We're like, I think we're about 17th odd in the league. Not great. Am I going to do a history of Amiga Power Magazine? Probably not, I have to say. There's one thing stopping me from doing a history of Amiga Power Magazine, and that is Stuart Campbell. In that, he's a cunt. And I don't really want to give airtime to a massive cunt like Stuart Campbell. So, yeah, I probably won't. Jimmy Savile was a wrestler back in like the 50s. 8 versus game. He was. I wish my local side would win a game, Chris, especially because I'm probably going to see him next week. Do Zap 64 waypoint. Actually have a video planned on the publishing company that did Zap 64 and Crash and Amtix and the Games Machine. That is my game plan. So yeah, that's on the way. The nature of Stuart Campbell's cuntiness. Stuart Campbell runs an account on Twitter called Wins Over Scotland, which he's just a massive fucking politics bore. Like, he is the worst kind of politics bore. Like, for him, politics are like the be all and end all of everything. Also, he's a bit shit when it comes to trans people as well, but in the main, he's just a horrible politics cunt. Like, it's not even like he's right-wing or anything. I mean, he's not, but he's just a massive twat. And it's just like, oh, God. Oh, look at that long goal. He's awful. It's a shame, because, I mean, I used to love his writing when I was reading Amiga Power, but it's just like, Jesus. Don't follow your idols when they're an adult. I used to love Amiga format as well. It could be worse. I mean, we could go down to League 2 again. Hi, hello, Game Show Garbage. How you doing? Indeed, Shapey Fiend, it was kind of a vaguely recent development, but as soon as he did, boom, the cunt just came out. Fucking Scottish politics, fucking real-life Malcolm twat. Ugh. No time for him. I don't really know 5BLB. I mean, I couldn't say. I didn't work with him or anything. I mean, he was always very opinionated. Maybe he was back in the day. You just don't know. I mean, I wouldn't like to say that he was a cunt back in the 90s. He's a cunt now, but back in the 90s we didn't have Twitter. Yeah, let's have a proper smoke. Oh yeah, Jane Goldman. I remember reading her stuff back in the day, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, I used to like reading World of Stuart as well, Shapey Fiend. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff on there still. Like, on World of Stuart, there's like a very in-depth piece about cannon fodder. There was the stuff about like the recent Sensible Soccer game, even though I kind of liked that, it was interesting. Like, there was like driver stuff, there was a lot of like games journalism type stuff. The whole Nemesis thing with the faked screenshots. You know, there was a lot of interesting stuff on there. But unfortunately, all that went away when he started getting into politics. Also, I don't know if you guys knew, but Stuart Campbell's been arrested for internet harassment recently. He got arrested apparently for like harassing someone who lives in London. And apparently it was over Gamergate. Like 3 years later, still going at people over Gamergate. Like apparently this woman who he was harassing is a pro Gamergater, and Stuart Campbell was anti-Gamergate. And apparently Stuart Campbell just wouldn't let it lie. Wouldn't let it lie. Oh god, yeah, Dantronic, he had some terrible shit to say about Hillsborough, didn't he? He was practically with fucking Mackenzie on that one, wasn't he? Kelvin Mackenzie is basically the same as that, just saying, oh yeah, it was all a fucking fan's fault that happened. Oh god, such a prick. Such a fucking prick. The tea's always piping hot, Paul. Yeah, Andrew, sad to say, I mean, probably. Probably was. My top 5 desert island dicks. Poof. You just asked a mouthful. I don't know. I feel like when you ask me a question like that, like there's... Like, I could obviously do like a top 5 desert island dicks of people I know personally, but obviously y'all wouldn't get that. And then when it's people I don't know personally, I... Really, Nick Infante? What, the same Stuart Campbell? That seems crazy to me. It's very true, Gary Mitrovic. Old Hitchens did have some smart stuff to say. I certainly didn't agree with everything he said, but he certainly had some smart stuff to say. I mean, that's the thing. All my desert island dicks would be people I personally know. So... Worst game I ever played on the Amiga, Dick Tracy. Absolutely, by far the worst game I've ever played on the Amiga. One of the worst games I've ever played, full stop, actually. Terrible, terrible game. Right. Probably not Shapey Fiend. Right, let's go. Let's go. Scoot. Are the Tampa Bay Mutiny not around anymore? I always like that name. Tampa Bay Mutiny. Stance on Venger now. He should go. Like I know that Arsenal won today, but I still think it's time to go. I think that Arsenal winning today only just like covers up the cracks in that team. I don't think he should be the coach anymore. I mean, I'm not an Arsenal fan. That's just like my layperson's opinion. I just don't think he should be the coach. I think the reins should go to somewhere else at Arsenal. Mind you, having said that, if Venger does stay, then the longer that he stays, the more that Arsenal fan TV is really fucking entertaining whenever they lose. Which is always great. So maybe Venger should stay. What was my poison this evening? I drank a lot of ale this evening. Woodford's Wherry I drank a lot of. I drank another ale a lot called Barmy Army. And a bit of London Pride as well. It was a pints kind of evening. Am I familiar with Icy Calm? Can't say that I am. I don't know that name at all. You'll have to enlighten us, Shapy Fiend. Do I like a bishop's finger? Have I ever... I don't think I've ever actually had bishop's finger ale. I don't remember it. I mean, maybe I... No, I don't think I have. I mean, usually I'm fairly simple when it comes to, like, ales, bitters and that. Like, usually if Doom Bar's on, that's the one I end up having, which is, you know, a pretty popular bitter. But I do like it. He ran a site called insomnia.ac, now it's something else. When I say a lot of, how much are we talking? Probably about 8. 8-ish, 8 to 9-ish. Quite a few. Although it was over a long period of time. Like, I went out during the day today because there were like bands playing outside. In the pub that I was at, which was in Old Lee, a place called the Peterboat. Really nice. I've actually had Trooper Highlander 01. Didn't really like it that much, if I remember correctly. Trooper. I don't know, it just... I can't say it was a favourite of mine. I can't really think why. Maybe it was just a bit too bitter for me, if I remember correctly. Francis Cana. Interesting. I mean, I tend to be pretty open when it comes for things like ale. I mean, it depends on what's on. I've never seen that one on, I have to say. Damn it. Yeah, Brewdog stuff is cool, Chris. How much is a pint down there? $3.80 around about, which is not too bad. But the best thing about the Peterboat, especially when you're outside, table service. 2 of the most beautiful words in the English language. Just people come round and it's like, hey, you want a drink? And they're like, and you're like, yay! So you never even have to get up. It is indeed a Lee Highlight Slushy Deluxe. It's good stuff. Intriguing, Shapy Fiend. Like, one of the best bitters I ever had, which I've only ever seen a couple of times, was one called Dark Matter. I don't know if any of y'all have had that. Like, that was a lovely beer. It was, like, just right for, like, the sort of things that I like. Like, sort of, like, nice, sort of dark. Also, like, kind of a complex flavour. Like, kind of sweet, but also, you know, sweet and sour notes. Just this really nice bitter. So, I mean, if I ever see lat in a pub, I get lat, but I rarely see it, unfortunately. Alas, I don't think I ever really went to the Smack when there was an arcade in it. I mean, I know the place where there, like, is an arcade. It's, like, at the back, innit? But unfortunately, like, by the time that I was old enough to go to the Smack, obviously there wasn't an arcade there anymore. Ah, Sam Smith's. That's always good stuff when I'm in London. Nice and cheap, too. Getting a nice pub that does some Sam Smith's. Nice cheap pint. Awesome stuff. Aldi don't really do bad stuff. No! Oh, God, last second goal. What I want to get, actually, I keep meaning to go to my local supermarket to get some, is... Like, back in the day, I used to be a bit of a whiskey snob and used to get, like, a nice single malt just to, like, have, like, a little sniff to of every now and again. I need to get something like that again. Like, just, like, obviously to keep around, like, not just to smash down in a night. A nice single malt. That's the sort of stuff I love. I love a nice single malt. Oh, I think that's in. Hell yeah. Oh, really, Slushy? Damn. Shame I missed that. Never really used to get taken to the pub much when I was younger. Let's play some Fire Pro. Was it a Street Fighter 1 slushy with, like, the big fucking buttons that always broke? Because people just used to hit them hard. Let's have some Fire Pro. Hey, Matthew Major. Right. Let's see, what sort of match shall we play? Oh shit, I need to change the fucking thing. Not enough good boxing games these days. Yeah, I miss the fight night games. They used to be really good. Right, let's have, let's see now. Maybe go for like a nice... Let's have Brawn. Braun Strowman versus Giant Baba. I remember the first game that blew my mind was a roll-in demo of Shadow of the Beast on the ZX Spectrum. Of all things. Like, not the actual Amiga version, just the ZX Spectrum one. I remember that kind of blowing my mind just because of like how alien it looked. Who, in my opinion, was the greatest wrestler from the UK in WWE? William Regal. I would say. It's my choice. Or Fit Finlay. I used to love Elite Plus on the Amiga. That's my main Elite thing. I actually do have No Man's Sky on Steam, but I've not played it. I still don't really know what it's about. Apparently it's really good now. Like, they've done a lot of work on it. So I hear, anyway. What am I vaping? I think it's like passion fruit, kiwi and watermelon. Oh, and I think pineapple's in there as well. I can't exactly remember the flavour, but it's something like that. He did, Dave, yes. Quite sad when it comes to it. Died way too young. Yeah, that does kind of suck, game show. Yeah, I mean, Dynamite Kid was a great talent. Although, I mean, I don't... There were other, like, British wrestlers, like, of the time that I rated more than him. I have to say, like, from, like, the old world of sport I've watched. Like, people like Jim Breaks and Johnny Saint and Mark Rocco. I prefer watching as opposed to Dynamite Kid, if I'm honest. My favourite WrestleMania. Honestly, like, the one that I had most fun watching was 30. I thought 30 was such a good WrestleMania. Why was Dynamite Kid a cunt? Dude is a psycho. Like, a really nasty piece of work. Like, we're talking about a fella who used to wake up his girlfriend in the morning, like, holding a loaded gun to her head and clicking it, and then saying one day it'll be loaded. Like, he is a nasty motherfucker. Like, massive backstage bully as well. To the point where one of the Rougeos hit him with a roll of quarters. Really nasty motherfucker, Dynamite Kid. Yeah, I mean, Davey Boy Smith wasn't that great either, Andrew. Not even nearly as bad as the Dynamite Kid, though. That guy's just fucking nasty. Did the PS2 game have announcers? What, Fire Pro? No. Fire Pro's never had announcers. Have I played UFO Enemy Unknown? No, I haven't. I've played the more recent XCOM. But not the old one. Yeah, Dave Dog, Big Daddy's real name was Shirley Crabtree. It's kind of a boy named Sue type thing, I suppose. He went and named me Sue. How do you do? Come on, Braun. I guess Big Daddy must have been pretty hard despite his weight. I mean, if you're named growing up with a name like Shirley, probably had to fight. Oh, okay, Arthur. No, it didn't. That's the thing that's been added with Fire Pro World. Well, I think it did have announcers in the audience, but not on the tables. Big Daddy Ape versus game. I don't know about being a massive cockbag, but I don't think he was supposed to be particularly nice either. I actually watched the classic Big Daddy versus Giant Haystacks a few days ago, like that match. I might end up doing a video on Big Daddy versus Giant Haystacks. Again, there's so much wrestling stuff that I want to do videos on. Like, bringing wrestling to the channel just has given me so many ideas for videos, which is pretty great. Dickie Davis and Kent Walton on commentary. Coming to you live from Westcliff-on-Sea. Ah, that's cool, Wave Waking. Thank you very much. You definitely need to buy this, Arthur. I mean, or you could wait for it to come on PS4. I've not watched the... do you mean the Netflix series, Ape vs. Game? I have not watched that yet. Well, yeah, Andrew, I mean, not only was there the 3 falls for a match, but also, like, that a lot of those matches had a round system as well, which I don't think anyone else had at the time. I mean, that was very different. I haven't watched the Ahoy doc about Polybius yet. I do want to watch it. I do want to take some time to watch it. I saw the start of it and was immediately just thinking, fucking hell. Ahoy's just kind of like a cut above all of us. I mean, that guy, Stuart Brown, is just like, god damn. You look at his videos and you think, shit, I need to raise my game. Just like, god damn, how the fuck do you do all these great graphics?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Hey, on a retro tip, how you doing?
13, 14, 15, 16.
I mean, I was looking at Ahoy's sub count, and it seems like he's getting close to 1 million, which is... I can't think of a 1 million sub account that would be more deserved than that. The work that he puts into his videos is something else.
20 minutes gone.
Indeed, Shaky Fiend.
1, 2, 3.
And Warren Strowman beats Giant Baba. Pretty long match, that one. 100% for that match. Damn. Right, let's see. Let's have, like, winner stays on, I guess. Who should we have? Let's have, like, a New Japan guy. Okada Rainmaker. Yeah, Andrew, I mean, you're not wrong there. Plus, the guy who was in control of ITV at that time, Greg Dyke, hated wrestling. So, like, in the late 80s, it was on a hide into nothing. I always love Ahoy's Iconic Arms series. Like, I mean, as great as his long form stuff, I like the Iconic Arms short form stuff as well. I mean, I'm not even really that interested in guns, but like the amount of research that he puts into that is like, damn, it makes it really interesting. What proportion of my Steam games have I not played? Oh god, probably about 80-90%. So many. I've got way too many Steam games. The WrestleCrap induction of Nails versus El Gigante. Good god, that was actually a match. Fucking hell, I can't imagine seeing that. That must have been... Jesus, that must have been horrifying. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, Shaper Fiend, I mean, it is... Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly interested in guns, but it's really interesting to me, like, the development. And I did actually shoot a gun once when I was in Poland for a long weekend. It's one thing I was able to cross off my bucket list, shooting a handgun. Which, I guess if Americans in the chat probably think, yeah, big deal, but it's not really something you can do much in the UK. We used to have a BBC mic at our school, but never anywhere else. And it didn't have Elite on it, I'm afraid. I like the odd point and click game, Line Secret. I don't play them that often, but there are definitely some that I like. Yeah, clay pigeon shooting is something that I could do. It was certainly... Actually, I'll tell the story, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I went to, it's a few years ago now, I went to Krakow for a long weekend with a bunch of my friends. And, like, me and another guy, who was a friend of mine, although he's actually, like, the worst person I've ever met as it goes, but hey-ho. Before that, we decided to go to a place called Pazoltovich because it had a shooting range, and it took a long time to get there, even though it wasn't that far out from Krakow. Like, and this is like, we went to like Krakow in January, so it was absolutely chock full of snow. But we went to this place, this Pazoltovich shooting range. It took us like hours to get there, and then when we finally got there, we get to this shooting range. And the police are there, and there's blood on the floor. Like there was like a little pool of blood on the floor. I don't know what happened, if someone like shot themselves in the foot or something. But like the police are there, and like we've spent all this time getting there, and we're like, oh shit, we're probably not going to get to shoot anything. But the guys there were, oh yeah, just wait a minute, you know. It'll be alright. And so we waited like half an hour, and then eventually like the police left. And we're kind of thinking, Jesus, what are we getting ourselves into here? And so eventually we did get to I think I shot about, I only shot one gun. I think it was like a Glock 22 or something like that. It wasn't like a heavyweight gun or anything, because I really didn't want to like go for like a heavyweight gun just in case like I lost control of it or some shit. So I think I shot about 3 clips of ammo, which wasn't that expensive. And all the while, this cunt who was a friend of mine at the time was all saying about like he used to go to Cambodia, where apparently, you know, you can like just use fucking heavy guns, AK-47s willy-nilly, and then at the end you can blow up a cow with a rocket launcher, apparently, or some made-up shit like that. But yeah, shot about 3 clips of ammo, then went home.
2, 3,
It was an experience. So I can at least say that I've shot a handgun, which not a lot of people in the UK could say. There wasn't that much blood. It wasn't moved to scale or anything, but it was definitely on the floor. So yeah, that was an experience. Did I fire in the air and yell like point break? I think that would have been frowned upon at the shooting range, Slushy. I don't think they'd have liked that if I did that. I think they'd have had to call the police back. Really, here, I mean, God. That's fucked up. Yay, shoot cow with rocket launcher. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily mind going clay pigeon shooting. I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad time. And I think there's like a fairly local range to me, but I don't know. There's maybe other things that I would rather do instead. Jeez, I could do with some fried chicken now coming. Ooh, critical. Knock out. Kazuchika Okada is fucked up. And Braun Strowman stays on. God damn. Yeah, it is line secret. I mean, that's so random. Like, it's just like, hey, shoot a cow with a rocket launcher. That's just like, what? What? What the fuck? Damn, Andrew. That sounds pretty intense. Alas, it is not Space Melon. You've missed the Rocket League portion. No, God, Quasar / Lux. I used to love Quasar back when I was a kid. In Mr. B's. Mr. B's Amusements. Fucking hell, Andrew. That's fucked up. Yeah, line secret. I mean, the game itself doesn't come with those sort of wrestlers off like the bat, but you can download like edits from the Steam Workshop, and they're brilliant. And yeah, you can get Hayabusa. You can get pretty much anybody. Hey, Packers my sack. Good to see ya. Chicken is just good in general. Any type of chicken is good. I actually did, Matthew. Well, it wasn't as good as the fish finger sarnie, but I had a very nice burger at the pizza boat. And some nice onion rings, because I like onion rings. It was a good burger. Solid burger. Perhaps a bit expensive for what it was, but still, I rated it. Are there unlockables and story, etc., like standard WWE game stuff? There's unlockable moves if you go through the mission mode, and I think there will be a story eventually, but not currently in early access. But when like the full game comes out, there will be something like that. So at the moment, it's kind of more of a playground, but it's a very good playground. Beans and fish fingers. You can't beat a fish finger sandwich in my view. I mean, when I had that awesome fish finger sandwich a couple of weeks back, I was saying to my friend, like, you just can't beat a fish finger sandwich, and my friend had one, not had a fish finger sandwich, and two, didn't have any inclination to have one, and I was like, dude, you've not lived. Like, you've not lived until you've had a fish finger sandwich. Like a fish finger sandwich on sliced white bread. Like, even if it's just regular fish fingers with tartar sauce. That to me is like an amazing sandwich. Like maybe the best sandwich of them all. It's just wonderful. It's heaven. But my friend's weird, so... Peas sounds like a good addition, Line Secret. And I don't usually like peas that much, but that does sound like a very nice accompaniment. Accoutrement. Well, Shapy Fiend, I have this crazy plan to start learning how to make sushi, so I might do something with that when I start, finally. I just need to get some nori rolls and a decent knife. So I might do something like that. Like, look at this idiot trying to make sushi.
6, 7, 8,
Nice one, Slushy.
9, 10.
It sounds like you've got a dirty mind. Can't say I've ever had a Reuben after spilling. It's not really something you get often in the UK. Like, that's more like an American standard.
10 minutes gone.
Well, yeah, I hope so, Andrew. I really hope so. Because, yeah, that Angel Delight didn't come out great. I thought that fish sticks were like crab sticks. Like, what I'm talking about, I like fish sticks like in America, like battered, or like with breadcrumbs, because that's fish fingers. Oh. Indeed you did. Yeah, I gotta learn how to do all that shit, Hugh. I don't know what it is, I just really want to make sushi. I've been watching so much like Hiroyuki Terada on YouTube and like a lot of other like Asian food channels, and I just think, damn, I really want to make sushi. Like, it's nice, it's healthy. Like, I'm not even gonna like do like raw fish for start, like just start off with like some California rolls or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, I really want to make sushi. I don't know what it is, it's just like, damn, right, I want to learn the craft, I want to learn how to make sushi. Stick of Truth was great, Brian. And I'll tell you what, that thing that people were going on about, that they saw a couple of days ago, what was it like? Fucking hell. That was a thing, when, like, in the new South Park game, your your skin, like the skin color you choose determines the difficulty level of the game. It was just like, oh my god. It was just like, fucking hell. God damn. Yeah, I hope so on the retro tip. I think I just need to get all like the equipment together. I mean, it doesn't seem that hard. Oh god. It kind of seems like fun. It seems like something you can experiment with quite a lot.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
When's the new South Park game? I don't actually know. It's not long away. When is this out on PS4? No later than March, I think. Like, March is like the deadline they've set for properly finishing this.
3, 4.
So, I don't know, we'll see. Oh yeah, Demon Elbow. I mean, I like 8-bit keys and 8-bit guy in general. Does really good stuff, that one. I love tech channels. Is spam not also a really big thing in Hawaii? Like, I'm sure like spam's like massive in Hawaii as well. My only experience with spam is eating it at like the shittest restaurant in Southend. It took like an hour for spam and chips to come. And it was terrible. I think they were kind of pissed off though, because my dad was just kept going, like doing the fucking spam song from Monty Python, just like spam, 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 wonderful spam. So that was probably why it took so fucking long for it to come, because they were just like, right, fuck these guys. Yeah, that makes sense, Andrew. Spam and MOEs. Panini football, banana and prawn sandwich. Where are your parents?
6, 7, 8, 9.
Tonight's going great, Kalanoa, thank you. Had some good drink, listened to some good music, playing or watching some good games. Axeboma. Fucking hell. This is one long ass match. Hey, mind resting. Aloha to you. Aloha. I'll keep that in mind, Panini football.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I like how Braun Strowman respectfully waits for Hogan to finish hot dogging. WWE 18 will have 8 in the ring just like this. Yeah, perhaps, but it'll probably also be the same as every other WWE 2K game. Good night, Shapey Fiend. As it goes, I won't be spending much longer on stream as it, so you know you're not going to be missing a lot. But good night anyway. Probably going to wait for this match to finish, because I'm getting a bit peckish after all this food talk. I liked Hogan vs Warrior, at least the first one, Andrew. I mean, obviously the second one was terrible, but I don't know. I thought it was fine enough for what it was. It's not the best Warrior match, though. I think it was just brilliant with 8 wrestlers. Pretty sure.
2,
WrestleMania on Amiga, yeah, that was pretty bad.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hey, Bimmy Lee.
11,
How you doing?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Oh shit, this is going to end as a count out.
19,
It's a
20.
count out. Fucking hell. No one can stop Braun Strowman. God damn. That's kind of disappointing that after like a nearly half-hour match ends in a fucking count out. That's a bit bullshit. Ah, dearie me. Well, I have one more cigarette and then I think I'll probably go. Yeah, I mean, Warrior was not a great wrestler. He was carryable to good matches, though. Like, he had a great match with Randy Savage. Good match with Rick Rude as well. Decent match with Hulk Hogan, at least the first one. It was all very laid out. Nah, it's just the way it is with Fire Crow. Sometimes you just get a unsatisfactory ending. Oh god, European Rampage, that was terrible. That was awful, that game. Good night, Chris. Any new games I'm really anticipating? There's that one game that I really like the look of that I can't remember the name of. The Last Something. It's like a cinematic platformer type game set in the future. I can't remember the name, but it looks amazing. Like it's like a cyberpunk cinematic platformer, which is just sort of genre that I absolutely love. It was a bit controversial because apparently the guy, fucking whatever, I can't remember. Apparently supported Gamergate, so it's like when it got previewed at E3. What's his name? The Last Something. I swear it's The Last Something. Yeah, very true, Andrew. I mean, that is... Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not saying he's a good wrestler or anything. I mean, he's just carryable. Which, you know, just means he's not horrifying. Like, I mean... The brilliance of Warrior versus Savage is, like, savage. Last Night, that's it, yeah, the Last Night. That's the one, Slushy Deluxe, thank you. I don't, Muddy Lemon, no. That name doesn't ring a bell, Commie. Actually, no, it does ring a bell, because I think you've said that... I'm pretty sure you've mentioned that channel to me before. It's like a tech channel, isn't it? I'm also looking forward to playing a bit of that sociable soccer. I might well be covering that on the channel at some point as well. Ric Flair versus Randy Savage, I remember that. My first WrestleMania, I think, was 7. Which was bad. And I definitely remember watching 8 as well, which was also bad, although Ric Flair versus Randy Savage was good, as was Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper. Nice one, Spudley. Right. Right, folks, I'm going to go and have a nice rest. Thank you all for joining me on this impromptu stream. I hope you all had fun. And I may have been a bit drunk on this stream, but I wasn't as drunk as the last stream. So that's something, I suppose. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the Spectrum next as well, actually. That's just been mentioned in the chat. That it does look like a good thing. I do hope it works out fine. So yeah, I'm going to go. On Monday, you can expect a video about homebrew Specky games. We're going back to Specky. So, yep, that should be a nice quick little thing. And thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, I will see you later. Bye for now and all that. Take care. See y'all. So long.